How do you confront someone with a hard truth? Today I want to give you 5 tips for how to do that really well. My name is Brett Silford, pastor at the table in Saxe, Texas, and it's a privilege to welcome you to Table Talk, where I bring you ideas and insights from Christian theology and spirituality that help you become a more thoughtful, calm, and wonderful human being. All right, so let's get to our 5 steps for successfully navigating conflict and confronting someone with a hard truth. Step number 1, you've got to own your part. So this might seem like a really strange place to begin because we're talking about how to confront others, and yet it's so easy to go into a confrontation with this idea that you are the angel and they are the demon, when the reality is that most of the time there is almost always something you can own. Right? This is especially true if this was like a mutual fight, or you were both in a heated argument with, raging emotions and hurtful words spoken by both parties. I mean, if that's the situation, you can always go into that follow-up conversation, ready to address their stuff, but first, be ready to address your own, right? So start the conversation by owning your part. Of course, in situations where there has been physical abuse, sexual abuse, or when someone was just super out of line, that's different, right? But those really are the exceptions rather than the rule. So that's step 1, own your part. Step 2, be clear, be kind. So Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15 says, "Speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of him who is the head, that is Christ." And it's that first line that jumps out at me. Speaking the truth in love. That's the trick, isn't it? Like, on the one hand, in the name of loving someone, we're so often not straightforward with them. We're not honest. We're sort of dancing around, the topic. We're sort of unclear because we don't want to hurt their feelings, right? Because we love them so much, or at least that's what we say. On the other hand, we can also find ourselves speaking the truth without love, right? We're straight shooter, but we just come across like a jerk. And our words are rarely, if ever, really received. So what we've got to do is have both love and truth kiss each other in our confrontations. So that's second. Be clear, be kind. Third, ask, don't tell. I got this from my good friend Wendy Good. Oftentimes we go into a confrontation with a lot of assumptions. We assume we know where they were coming from when they said that thing that hurt our feelings. We just know why they did what they did, and now we are full of righteous indignation. Let me tell you, this will kill you. This will humiliate and humble you. Learn from my failures, friends. Never assume anything in a conflict. So, in other words, instead of saying, well, you said this, and I know why you said that, is because you were thinking, fill in the blank. Or, so last week when you yelled at me, I knew it was because... No. Ask. When you said such and such, what did you mean? When you did such and such, why did you do that? Now, you're going to feel ridiculous because you are oh so sure that you already know. Don't assume. I'm telling you, I swear to you, don't assume, ask, don't tell. And by the way, when they give you a reason, believe them. Unless you have very clear evidence that they're lying, but if you're just speculating, if you're just, I just don't think, stop it. Just believe them. Think about it. In the case that they're really lying, it will probably come out later, right? So that's step 3. All right, step 4, use I language, not you language. So I found this is helpful because it really encourages us with all the points that I just mentioned above. Like, it basically helps us be kinder. It helps us ask more questions, because really we have to frame it in a much less accusatory manner than we normally would. So for example, we might say, hey, last week when we got into that screaming match, I really had my feelings hurt. I felt like I didn't even matter to you. And perhaps that's not true, but it's just how it felt. So notice how different that is as opposed to, last week when we got in that screaming match, you were the biggest jerk in the world. You were out of line. You are the worst. That's very accusatory. And by the way, this is not some weird rule where you can like literally never say you in a confrontation. That just gets weird. It's simply a helpful sort of framework, a model to reframe the conversation in terms of your own perspective, your own feelings, and then invites other people to own their part, right? Rather than you having to force it upon them. All right, step number 5, get a mediator. When in doubt, bring someone else in. Whether it's because you're just new to all this, or you just don't really trust that person, or the situation just feels so delicate that you or the other person just flat out needs some help, don't hesitate to reach out. And of course, the person you ask to be this third party, they need to be spiritually and emotionally mature. That they need to be someone neutral in the conflict, someone as unbiased as possible. They need to be also an agreed upon third party, not just you saying, I want this person, but someone agreed upon. And finally, they have to be really strong and willing to call you and the other person out on your jacked upness, your messed upness, your issues. Right? So they can't be a mousy peacekeeper. Nope. They need to be relatively comfortable in this type of situation, pretty confident person. All right, so that's the 5 tips. Own your part, be clear, be kind, ask, don't tell, use I language, not you language, get a mediator. So I hope you find these tips really useful wherever you find yourself, at home, at work, at church, wherever you are on the journey. And that it encourages you to confront people with more confidence, but also with kindness. So that is all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and comment below. And if you don't want to miss any future episodes of Table Talk, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by searching for Brett Tilford on YouTube. Love y'all lots. Grace and peace.